Have you ever thought about what you would do with a sudden windfall of money? Many people dream of winning the lottery or suddenly finding themselves $1 million better off. But the reality is very few people can handle this kind of windfall. Statistics sadly show that without a concrete plan for how you will use the money, most people will blow through it within just a few short years. So in this video, I'm going to share with you some very simple strategies for how you can make the most of any future windfall that might come your way. G'day there, my name is Phil McGilvray. I'm a financial coach, a financial well-being consultant, and founder of the Money Boss movement, where we make practical, life-changing financial education both understandable and accessible for everyday people. Over the 30 years that I've been a financial coach and financial advisor, I have seen windfalls do so much more harm than good. I have seen a $20 million lottery win, which should set you up for life, evaporate inside 5 years. I have seen on at least 3 occasions $10 million estates, inheritances, whittled away inside 4 years. You can imagine the kind of regret and shame that goes with having had that kind of money only to blow it all. Now, over the past 6 months, I've had at least 5 clients receive sudden windfalls from all sorts of different places. That is literally life-changing for them. So I want to share with you the strategies that I've given them, because even a small inheritance, let's say $100,000, $200,000, can be completely life-changing if you use it the right way. So let's have a look at these strategies now. Strategy number 1 is allocate a certain portion of that windfall for fun. So typically this is 5 to 10% of that money allocated for fun stuff that you can spend right now. So that might be getting a new car, it might be taking a family overseas, it might be getting a deck put out the back, it might be putting a pool in. Of course, it depends on the size of the money you've received, but 5 to 10% should be money that you can just spend on something you can really enjoy. Step number 2, or strategy number 2, is to then pay off any high interest debt. Okay, so if you've got any debt, credit cards debt, personal loans, those sort of things, if the size of your windfall is big enough, pay off the mortgage. Woohoo! Debt free. Get rid of the mortgage. So that's step 2, pay off any high interest debt, and if you can, pay off your mortgage. Step number 3 is then to give to anywhere that you feel led to give to. So if giving to your church is a priority for you, if giving to the causes you care about is important to you, then give whatever you have in your heart to give to that. Okay, so that's the first 3 things that we want to do, first 3 steps. At this point then, step number 4 is to lock the rest away for 6 to 12 months. Now this is really important. I promise you that once you get this money, you want to lock it away in a term deposit where you cannot touch it, so that you can give yourself time to really think about, how do we want to use this money? What are our life goals? What are our priorities? What are our values? How do we want to use this money to ensure that it aligns with those 3 things? It is so important that you put a pause and you put a circuit breaker in place to allow you to do this. So lock it away in a term deposit. Strategy number 5, once you have locked your money away for 6 to 12 months, what you want to do is think about, how much money do I want to set aside as investments for the future? One of the biggest regrets of people who have won significant sums of money and then blown through it is that they didn't isolate some money up front that should go away for investments to provide for their future. This is such an important step, is for you to get a concrete number in your head, a non-negotiable number in your head, where you say, okay, we've received this amount of money, and this is how much we are going to lock aside. It is not allowed to be touched. We are going to put it into income producing assets so that we have something long-term to grow, to compound, and to build for the future. So that is strategy number 5. Work out what that non-negotiable number is, and then share that with someone that you respect, who can hold you accountable for drawing that line in the sand and saying, this money is long-term investment money and it will not be touched. Step number 6, once you've worked out how much money you're sidelining for investment, you can get very clear on what is left. Now, before you go out and start spending that, you want to create for yourself a wish list. What are the things that we would like to do? We would like to maybe upgrade the house. Maybe we'd like to get a new car. Maybe we'd like to build that deck or take the family overseas. What are those list of things that you would love to be able to do? You then need to put a dollar figure against each. What are those things going to cost us? And then put them in priority order. It's really important that you do this when you first receive the money, but also I would suggest that you review it before your money comes out of that term deposit you've locked away, so that you can be clear on, are these things still the priority? Once you've got that clear list in your mind, once you've reassessed it a couple of times, then you're in a safe place to start spending it. One other thing that I would add to strategy number 6 to your wish list items is just be careful that you are not increasing your lifestyle costs too much. I mean, this depends, of course, on the size of your windfall, but there is, and I've seen this happen a lot, there is this reality that if we increase our cost of living, let's just say we're taking on a bigger house with bigger costs, or maybe we've moved to a hobby farm and the hobby farm is way more expensive on a day-to-day basis, or maybe we're choosing to put the kids into a more expensive school. Those are ongoing costs that are going to be with you for the foreseeable future. And therefore, you need to make sure that whatever cost you take on now is going to be sustainable for the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, whilst those costs run their course. So just be careful that you're keeping that in mind when you take on new expenses. One-off expenses you can see the impact of immediately, but some of the ongoing expenses, that creep in lifestyle, can actually cost you significantly long term, which means you can eat through your money a lot faster. So just be mindful of that when you're making these decisions. So that's it, my simple plan not to blow $1 million. If this has been helpful, please click the like button because it does help my channel reach more people. And given that most people are going to receive some kind of inheritance in their lifetime, this might just be the thing they need to prevent them from a whole heap of regret. So just to sum it up, if you were lucky enough to receive some kind of windfall, this is the plan. Step number 1, allocate a small portion, 5 to 10%, to some fun money to do something that you really enjoy. Secondly, pay off all your high interest debt. Third, allocate money for giving if that is important to you. Number 4 is to lock away the rest of the money into a high interest account or term deposit where you can't touch it as a circuit breaker to give yourself some time to think through what you want to do with this money. Number 5, identify how much as a non-negotiable you're going to put towards long-term investments not to be touched. And number 6 is to then look at what you've got left, create for yourself a wish list, prioritize that wish list so that when that money does become available, you've got a plan for how you are going to spend it. Now, if you would like to take better control of your finances, if you would like to get out of debt, consistently save more money, make your life goals a reality, or get started investing, then can I invite you to click the subscribe button today, because every Monday and Friday we release videos with practical, life-changing financial education. So hit the subscribe button. I look forward to seeing you in the next video and have a great week.